Ponies, they live and they die. But most importantly, they prosper.
Nice.
But what does that mean exactly? Well, I'll tell you. It means that they get that bread. Alright, cool, we get it. Cool intro cinematic, but let's address the elephant in the room. Currency, and more specifically, pony currency. Because even these little marshmallow horses gotta eat. The Equestrian bit is a standard currency seen throughout Equestria in all Hasbro produced media created in the MLP FIM universe, but also maybe in G5. I can't really know for sure since I'm not sure if the name bit has ever been explicitly mentioned as of yet. Or at least, I don't think it has. I haven't been keeping up with the Tell Your Tale series, and it wasn't mentioned in Make Your Mark or A New Generation. Anyway, you may be asking yourself, why is Monty talking about the currency inside of a pony cartoon? Well, you see, I've made it my mission to come up with the most accurate exchange rate from Equestrian bit to United States dollar and Great British pound in the year 2022. You see, the reason I'm saying 2022 is because I am by no means the first to do this. There are many who have done this in the past. The two examples I could find relate back to 2015 and 2011, both of which are now outdated due to recent inflation, meaning currencies have changed in value. Hey guys, Future Monty here. I just want to let you guys know that this clip talking about all of the previous valuations are outdated. Well, this was true when I wrote the script. Now there's been a new video by Doc Anibus and Starstrike where they've come up with a new valuation of a bit. I just wanted to let you guys know that I don't address it in this video because it wasn't a thing when I first started writing the script. And I've been given the go-ahead by both Doc Anibus and also Starstrike. So we're good. Anyway, I'll let you get back to past Monty's presentation of this video and I'll see you guys later. I'm also covering a much wider dataset and will be going into excruciating detail to make sure my numbers are accurate. Now you could just adjust these exchange rates based upon inflation, but since these rates were calculated using the prices of items in Equestria versus the value of them in the country, it doesn't account for the individual price inflation these products may have, so we're going to restart the process and go from square one building from the ground up. Firstly, we have to find some decent examples of the bit in relation to standard products that we can compare in order to find the exchange. Now while you may be asking yourself, why don't you use the milkshake van from the New Generation? Let me ask you, how on earth am I supposed to find the average price of a milkshake when the price is so wildly different between retailers that if I find any extremes or miss any, it can wildly skew the average, making the conversion virtually pointless? For this reason, I'll be using this handy table provided by the FIM fandom wiki, which helpfully has all of the appearances of the bit and what it was used for. Now, for my conversion, I'm going to work out the exchange based on only products seen in the primary sector. This is because finding the price of an apple fritter, which is secondary sector, is going to be a lot more fucking unreliable than something like cherries or a bag of tomatoes. It's just like the milkshakes I mentioned earlier. The simpler the actual product, the more likely we'll be able to work out an accurate average that actually represents the value of a bit. Also, just as a disclaimer, I'm only looking to work out the price of a bit, disrespective of the metal it is made from, since a dataset is not actually large enough to make head or toe where these coins would fit into place compared to real-world currency. Alright then, let's start off with the psychiatric help for only 2 bits. For real, let's start off with probably the most simple, 1 apple. Because we already have an individual price for an apple, we're going to immediately bar this basket of apples, because it doesn't really have a specific weight or quantity, meaning its value is quite vague to say the least. Now, according to Google, most apples weigh somewhere between 150 and 250 grams. Using this weight, it takes approximately 5 apples to fulfill 1 kilogram of apples. Now, using this handy site I found called Numbeo? We can find out the average price for exactly 1 kilogram of apples in the United States and also the United Kingdom respectively. The price of 1 kilogram of apples in the United States being $4.74 and for the UK $2.21, or roughly £1.86 at the current exchange rate. If each apple in Equestria is 4 bits, then we simply need to times this number by 5 to get our price for exactly 1 kilogram of apples, as established earlier, as it takes approximately 5 apples to fulfill the weight of a kilogram. This leaves us with the following price of 20 bits per 1 kilogram of apples. Now, accounting for the drop off in value which most manufacturers have if the product is sold in high quantities, we can have an estimated value of 18 bits per kilogram of apples. Now all we need to do is simplify the ratio by making one of the two sides into 1 in order to find the exchange of our first item. These ratios and their simplified variants are on screen right now. This all means that 1 USD is approximately 3.80 bits, and 1 Great British Pound is approximately 9.68 bits. Or reversed, 1 bit is 0.26 USD, and also 1 bit is 0.10 Great British Pounds. Let's add this to a table so I don't get confused later when trying to average this out. Nice, now let's move on to our next reference. A cherry? Yep, apparently a singular cherry in Ponyville is going to cost you 2 bits. Hold it, later Monty here. I already calculated this, then I realized that it's from the episode Putting Your Hoof Down, and the original price of the cherry was only 1 bit. Because of Fluttershy's passive nature, the price was moved up to 2 bits by the shop owner. I also could have known this by reading the fucking note that was right there. So now we have the price of 1 cherry, all we need to do is find a real world equivalent to start our calculation. Now unfortunately, our favourite site Numbeo doesn't seem to list any prices of cherries, so we're going to have to look somewhere else for our averages. Luckily, my all-time favourite site that I totally use all the time, freshfruitportal.com, came through, giving us the average price $4.43 per kilogram of cherries in the United States market. The UK market was slightly more complicated to find out, but the site Selina Wakumi, this site gave us an answer of 5.05 USD, which is roughly 4.29 Great British Pounds. Now all we have to do is find the equestrian price. After a quick Google search, the average weight of a sweet cherry is 11 to 12 grams, which is a single average value is 11.5 grams. Now we simply have to work out how many times 11.5 goes into 1 kg. This calculation is currently on screen. This rounded basically gives us an average of 87 cherries to fulfill the weight of a kilogram. If each cherry is exactly 1 bit, then 1 kilogram of cherries is exactly 87 bits. Now all we have to do is create the ratios to simplify one side like last time. Do I need to tell you? Obviously these calculations are on screen. This ratio simplified gives us 1 USD being 19.64 bits and 1 Great British Pound being 20.28 bits. Or reversed, 1 bit is 0.05 USD and 1 bit is also 0.04 Great British Pounds. This is quite a stark contrast from our original, but it's similar in the fact that the bit is a low value currency in comparison. Now let's move on to our next example, a bunch of 3 tomatoes. Now again, this is from the episode Putting Your Hoof Down. After reading the note, we can see that its original price was 1 bit a week before the market. Alright, so same as last time. Each tomato is approximately between 75 and 150 grams, so an average of 112.5 grams. In a kg, that is 8.888888 reoccurring, so we'll round to 9. Luckily, that's divisible by 3, so we can just divide 9 by 3, and wow, it's 3. Big shocks, explaining basic arithmetic on YouTube. Alrighty, so 1 kg of apples in Equestria is 3 bits. What about the UK, or the US? Well, sure enough, Numbers Bro has hooked us up once again, giving us a price of $4.42 for a kilogram in the US and $2.27, or roughly £1.99 for the United Kingdom. It's ratio time, and I'm not talking about the one-liners on Twitter. These are on screen right now. This then means that 1 USD is approximately 0.71 bits, and 1 Great British Pound is approximately 1.51 bits. Or reversed, 1 bit is 1.41 USD, and also 1 bit is 0.66 Great British Pounds. Now we can add this to our table and average out all of our results, giving us our final exchange rates. Now unfortunately, the results we just worked out were extremely anomalous, so we're going to have to bar them in fear of skewing the exchange rate. And yes, anomalous results do exist because the data source, i.e. the show, is imperfect, and can be wrong because the writer wrote something not intended to be accurate, and just so happens to not fit the majority. And our final exchange rate is, drumroll please, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I spent ages putting in the effort to make it, and I spent actually ages procrastinating on it. I started this project all the way back in July. If I don't make another video this year, have a very good new year, and very happy Christmas. So I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.